Welcome back, fellow warriors of the Imperium. In today's deep dive, we'll uncover the haunting and mysterious lore of the Legion of the Damned, spectral warriors who appear in humanity's darkest hours, cloaked in flame and shadows. But before we delve into their chilling story, I've got something exciting to share. If you haven't already, make sure to check out our latest video on the Alpha Legion, the Masters of Deception and Secrecy. The link is in the description and pinned in the comments. Trust me, you don't want to miss that deep dive into the Hydra's shadowy machinations. Now, back to the Legion of the Damned. Get ready for a tale of sacrifice, mystery, and eternal war. Origins shrouded in mystery. In the grim darkness of the 41st millennium, countless tales of heroism and despair define the Imperium of man. Among these stories, none are as enigmatic and haunting as the origins of the Legion of the Damned. To understand their rise, we must journey back to the ill-fated Firehawks chapter. The Firehawks were a proud but relatively obscure chapter of the Adeptus Astartes, charged with defending humanity's frontier worlds. Their zeal for battle was unmatched, and they often spearheaded dangerous missions where others dared not tread. But in the year 963 M41, during a routine warp jump to reinforce the beleaguered forces of the Lamia sector, disaster struck. Their fleet vanished into the Imperium, lost without a trace. Initially, the Firehawks were presumed destroyed, a common fate in the warp's treacherous currents. But over time, reports began to surface. Tales of ghostly warriors clad in burning black armor, striking down the enemies of mankind, began to circulate. These mysterious saviors bore an uncanny resemblance to the Firehawks, but something was terribly different about them. Their eyes burned with an unnatural light, their movements were silent and otherworldly, and their presence left a chilling aura on the battlefield. Theories about what happened during that warp jump abound. Some suggest that the Firehawks were caught in a warp storm of unprecedented ferocity, their fleet ripped apart by the chaotic energies of the Imperium. Others whisper that the chapter was deliberately targeted by malevolent warp entities, lured into a trap that sealed their fate. Whatever the case, the Firehawks that emerged were no longer the proud warriors they once were. They had become spectral beings, more spirit than flesh, forever altered by their time in the warp. This transformation raises uncomfortable questions. Was their survival a blessing from the Emperor, a divine intervention to preserve their martial strength? Or was it a cruel twist of fate, a punishment for some unknown transgression that left them cursed to an eternity of shadow and flame? The truth, as with much of the Legion of the Damned, remains frustratingly elusive. The Phantom Warriors. The Legion of the Damned defies conventional understanding of the Adeptus Astartes in every conceivable way. To many, their existence challenges the rigid structures and doctrines that have defined the Space Marines since their creation. Unlike their brethren, the Legion does not operate from a fortress monastery. There is no home world, no grand citadel filled with relics or battle honors, no aspirants undergoing rigorous training to join their ranks. They lack the rigid structure of chapters laid out in the Codex Astartes. Instead, the Legion operates in an enigmatic fashion, appearing only when needed, their timing often described as divine intervention. Imperial records contain countless first-hand accounts of their appearance on the battlefield, each one chillingly similar. Witnesses speak of a sudden and oppressive silence falling over the war zone. The air itself seems to grow heavier, carrying an unnatural chill that even the roaring fires of war cannot dispel. Then they appear, black-armored warriors adorned with burning skeletal motifs and flickering symbols of death and judgment. Their arrival is as much psychological warfare as it is a military intervention, demoralizing enemies and rallying allies in equal measure. The Legion's weaponry is as mysterious as their origin. Their bolters, though appearing ancient, fire rounds that strike with unerring precision and devastating force. Witnesses report that their ammunition glows with an otherworldly fire, capable of piercing the thickest armor or disintegrating their targets outright. This spectral arsenal adds to their fearsome reputation, as no mortal forge has ever replicated their weapons. Their silence is perhaps the most unnerving aspect of their presence. Even when fighting alongside Imperial forces, the Legion communicates nothing. Orders, if given, are never heard. Their actions seem perfectly coordinated, as though guided by some unseen force. This silence has led some to believe they are not individuals but manifestations of a single will, a collective consciousness bound to an eternal purpose. Despite their spectral nature, the Legion's combat prowess is undeniable. They have turned the tide of countless battles, their interventions often saving entire worlds from annihilation. Their tactics are brutal, efficient, and unrelenting, focusing on key threats with surgical precision. When they fight, They embody the inevitability of death, an unstoppable force that neither fear nor reason can deter. Eternal mystery, servants of the Emperor or something else? The allegiance of the Legion of the Damned has been a topic of fierce debate for millennia. On the surface, their actions align closely with the goals of the Imperium. They rescue beleaguered forces, crush the enemies of humanity, and disappear before their intentions can be questioned. Yet their spectral nature and the mystery surrounding their origins leave room for far more complex interpretations. Among the faithful of the ecclesiarchy, the Legion is revered as an extension of the Emperor's divine will. They are seen as celestial warriors, blessed with supernatural powers to deliver justice to the Imperium's foes. This belief is bolstered by the Legion's apparent immunity to corruption. Despite their prolonged exposure to the warp, they show no allegiance to chaos. Their ghostly flames and burning armor are interpreted as manifestations of the Emperor's wrath, purging his enemies with righteous fire. For many Imperial citizens, the Legion's interventions are viewed as miracles, their appearance a sign of the Emperor's ongoing protection. However, not everyone shares this optimistic view. The Inquisition, ever wary of the unknown, regards the Legion with suspicion. Their unexplained origins and unnatural abilities raise questions about their true nature. How did they survive their time in the warp? What sustains them in their spectral form? And why do they intervene in some battles but not others? These questions have led some inquisitors to theorize that the Legion may serve a hidden agenda. Could they be tools of an unknown warp entity, masquerading as loyalists to manipulate the Imperium? Or are they something else entirely, beings caught between life and death, driven by motives beyond mortal comprehension? Theories about the Legion's allegiance vary wildly. Some speculate that they are the spirits of fallen Astartes, granted a second chance to fight for the Emperor. Others suggest a darker origin, involving forbidden pacts or ancient technologies lost to time. A few even question whether the Legion's loyalty to the Emperor is genuine. Could they be enacting a plan set in motion by the Emperor himself? Or have they become pawns in a cosmic game beyond even his control? Battlefield Legends. The Legion of the Damned's reputation is built on a foundation of battlefield legends, stories of impossible victories, miraculous rescues, and devastating vengeance. These tales are as varied as the war zones of the 41st millennium, yet they all share a common theme. The Legion's interventions occur when hope is lost, and their presence turns the tide of battle. One of the most famous accounts is the Siege of Mortalis Hive, a vital industrial world besieged by an Orc Wyak. Led by the infamous war boss Kraka Skullkraka, the Orc horde overwhelmed the planet's defenders, breaching the outer defenses and driving the Imperial Guard into a desperate retreat. As the defenders prepared for a final, doomed stand, the Legion of the Damned appeared. Witnesses described their arrival as otherworldly. The air grew heavy with an unnatural stillness, and the fires of war seemed to dim. Then, from the shadows, the Legion emerged. Their blackened armor glowed with spectral fire, and their bolters tore through the Orc ranks with unerring precision. The war boss himself fell to a single flaming round that ignited his crude armor in an inferno, demoralizing his followers and breaking the Wyak. The defenders rallied, inspired by the Legion's presence, and drove the remaining Orcs from the hive. By dawn, the Legion was gone, leaving only charred remains and smoldering ruins in their wake. Such stories are repeated across the galaxy, each one cementing the Legion's reputation as saviors of the desperate. Yet, their interventions are not without cost. The ghostly fire they wield often scars the very ground they fight upon, leaving behind an eerie reminder of their presence. Survivors report strange phenomena after their departure, from inexplicable burns on machinery to nightmares that plague their sleep. Some whisper that the Legion's proximity leaves a mark on the soul, a lingering connection to their spectral wrath. The Alpha and Omega of Mystery. The Legion of the Damned is defined as much by what we do not know about them as by what we do. Are they truly the remnants of the Firehawks, or is that story itself a fabrication? If they are not the Firehawks, then who, or what, are they? These questions have fueled endless speculation among scholars, warriors, and inquisitors alike. One of the most compelling mysteries is what sustains the Legion in their eternal war. Unlike other Astartes chapters, they have no visible means of recruitment, no new aspirants to replenish their ranks. Yet they continue to appear, seemingly undiminished by the passage of time or the toll of battle. This raises the unsettling possibility that they are immortal, or worse, that their numbers are replenished in some unknown and unnatural way. Their motivations are equally enigmatic. Why do they fight for the Imperium? Is it loyalty to the Emperor, penance for a past sin, or something else entirely? Some theorists suggest that the Legion is bound to an ancient vow, their spectral existence a form of eternal servitude. Others posit that they are guided by the Emperor himself, acting as his unseen hand in the galaxy's darkest moments. Ultimately, the Legion of the Damned challenges our understanding of loyalty, sacrifice, and survival. Their story is a haunting reminder that in the grim darkness of the far future, salvation often comes at a cost, and not all who serve the Emperor do so willingly. The haunting legacy. So, let's wrap up the video here. The Legion of the Damned stands as one of Warhammer 40K's most haunting mysteries, a chapter that defies death, loyalty, and even reality itself. Their story is one of sacrifice, survival, and eternal war, a chilling reminder that in the 41st millennium, nothing is as it seems. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the lore, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Warhammer 40K content. Share your theories about the Legion of the Damned below. Do you think they're blessed, cursed, or something else entirely? And if you're curious about more ghostly tales, check out our next video exploring the secrets of the Alpha Legion. Until next time, stay vigilant, and remember, the Emperor protects.